The Cuphead Show has just come back for a second season, or some may refer to it as the second half of Season 1. Either way, 13 new episodes recently dropped on Netflix. With such a wide array of characters in this show, it would make sense to discuss all the minute details of them. Some of these characters are intensely intelligent and others are darn dumb, and we're curious which is which. I'm Caleb with Wicked Binge, and this is the Cuphead Show Season 2, Dumb to Brilliant. Now, you could refer to this as an updated version of our previous list because it's full of similar characters. While we will be referring back to Season 1, most of this information is from Season 2, so we won't be including characters who don't appear in Season 2. Also, spoiler warning, even if the show's lore is not very in-depth, we will be discussing a lot of episodes and the final cliffhanger. But with that out of the way, we can get started on our list. These are the dumb. Earning our gold medal of dullness is Cuphead, who's fallen pretty far from Season 1. Like in the first season, he's a headstrong person who focuses on whatever he finds fun, everyone else be damned. He will do anything but listen to reality, going as far as to blame Mugman for getting them into prison. He is kind of street smart, able to grift and scam quite well, although where he really falls flat is picking up on most logical solutions and social cues. He believes the acid spat at him during Release the Demons is part of the show.
Hey, that's real acid!
He tries to find dynamite in a prison, tried to make a homemade jetpack, and breaks one of Bonbon's 2 rules. What really takes the cake is episode 12, Lost in the Woods, where he does nothing but annoy his family and the audience, launching materials, axes, and even Mugman into the sky with fireworks. He doesn't care about survival or safety and just does things that make him feel good. He's also responsible for Mugman getting captured in the final episode. Cuphead slipped by on the original list because other characters were just as, if not more, dumb, but he's not so lucky this time around. Taking our silver medal of dullness is everyone's favorite demon, Henchman. Henchman is one of the devil's highest ranking servants, and he has definitely earned that spot. All of his appearances show him being a great asset to the devil. He's shown to be good at determining when to hide, knowing when the devil is about to explode. He knows how to gather up the high-ranking demons and is the one that suggests the devil blow off some steam.
Wow, nice work, boss.
He's also responsible for saving King Dice from one of the devil's rages, and is even the one who is cautious against the 4 horsemen as he knows how powerful they are. Henchman has increased his intelligence from Season 1, but he's still not as smart as he'd like. Grabbing the bronze medal of dullness is Captain Brinybeard. Like a lot of other characters, he only appears during one episode, High Seas Adventure, which is actually the longest episode of the season. He is a pirate and is set to a pirate code of honor that proves he's a pretty good guy, all things considered.
Prepare for the High Seas Adventure!
He is dead set on dating Kala Maria despite knowing how powerful and evil she can be. He's also unable to tell the difference between his typical cup and the head of Cuphead, which shows he's not the best in that regard. Brinybeard is smart enough to stop the bickering and knows when it's best to escape, but even with that, he's not nearly as smart as one may be led to believe. Rounding out this section is the Baroness of Sugarland, Baroness von Bonbon. Now, Bonbon is on the bubble for good reason. She is shown to be some kind of a trickster, as she successfully tricks Cuphead with her nice facade and seemingly simple rules. She plays nice at first and seems to be cursed to be stuck in Sugarland, which is why she doesn't chase after the cups.
They always come back.
Her main issue is the fact that she's unable to catch 2 cups who have been changed into candy. Also, unlike her game counterpart, she doesn't seem to have servants beyond her castle, which implies she may have poor leadership skills. Whether they're barely smarter or unable to be called a genius by any metric, these are the middle ground. This is the average. Starting off this section is the gamest in the land, King Dice. Dice is still the devil's #1 henchman, and he seems to relish that position, as he thinks he's above the other demons under his employ. Dice is shown to be fashionably late when he appears and doesn't realize he's supposed to leave with the other demons like ordered. Now, he's not considered dull because he does make a pretty good plan that turns the demons on each other and is able to use the burping demon to his advantage.
Have I got plans for you?
He does lose points for only appearing in one episode, and as such, not really being able to be ranked beyond that. Up next on our list is none other than Kala Maria. Kala is known as the strongest and fierce sea monster in the 7 seas, having wanted to do that since she was a little girl. She's harmed and killed hundreds with her powers, but kind of uses them whenever she feels like it, freezing Brinybeard because he talks too much or calls her baby.
Don't call me baby.
Kala isn't much of a trickster or anything of the sort because she is the kind of person to do things without any ulterior motives. She is also the type to just tell you outright what her plan was, such as planning to eat Mugman and crew. Kala does appear in the Ice Cream Man episode, but we aren't accounting for that because it's actually just Mugman's vision of her. Landing next on our list is the Devil. The Devil is the main antagonist of the series and specifically of 2 episodes, Release the Demons and The Devil's Pitchfork. In these 2 episodes, it's pretty obvious that while he is intelligent, it sort of fails due to his rage. He's trying to learn how to control said rage, but he goes off the handle quite often, incinerating both his best demons and second best demons, destroying any chance of them getting Cuphead as asked.
Bring him back. You live.
He shows a very little concern for his henchmen, including henchmen, firing beams at them just to destroy things. The Devil is also responsible for accidentally leaving his pitchfork behind, which leads to Cuphead taking it. The Devil kidnaps Mugman, which shows that he knows the best way to get to Cuphead, even if it's not particularly the most obvious answer. The Devil isn't dumb, he just lets his emotions get in the way of his thinking. Everyone's favorite old man, Elder Kettle, ranks next on our list. Elder Kettle is world-weary and knows a lot of things because he's been around the block a few times. However, being old does not make him the smartest, especially without his glasses, as he is unable to tell Cuphead and Mugman are in prison. He is unable to look past Miss Chalice's charm, but is somehow strong enough to get past the Cup's charms.
You two are grounded for life!
He is also sort of gullible, falling for the "it's just a surprise" excuse during Werner's episode, and he does accidentally inspire Mugman to harm Cuphead. Kettle is an interesting case because he does have a lot of knowledge and world skills, but he can also be extremely gullible, hence his ranking. The ever-infamous Bullboy rounds out this section of the list. Bullboy is the main antagonist of episode 4, Another Brother, and while he previously appeared as a joke in season 1, he doesn't take on a real role until this episode. In this episode, he is a massive trickster capable of convincing Cuphead that he is a radical stuntman who would make a perfect brother.
He's always got a few tricks up his sleeve.
However, Bullboy does fall short of truly becoming Cuphead as he wished to do, as he does crash into the ravine, not realizing how dangerous the jetpack is. He doesn't think his plans through as he focuses entirely on the end goal and not the steps along the way. Sure, he is able to expertly impersonate a doctor and seems to torture Cuphead and Mugman at the end of the episode, but that doesn't make him too much smarter than his consistent failure. Now we can get to the smartest characters on our list. These are the geniuses. Starting off this section of the list is everyone's least favorite demon, Stickler. Stickler, much like his season 1 counterpart, only appears in one episode, but he makes good use of this appearance, proving he's just as smart as last time, if not smarter. Stickler is the auditor of hell and is responsible for counting the souls, having recounted over 30 times to account for Cuphead's soul. He tells the devil about the 30-day limit and stops him from pursuing Cuphead. He's even the one wearing the invisible sweater, knowing it would be in his best interest. Stickler only appears in the one episode, and as such can't be ranked anywhere else, because while smart, he's still outclassed. Our other main character, Mugman, is next on our list. Mugman, unlike his brother, is known for being cautious and full of a form of pessimism. Mugman is interesting because while he learns to be brave, he's often shown to cower or hide when necessary. Now, this is not always the case, and his cautiousness is sometimes thrown to the wind either by him or others when necessary. However, Mugman is quite intelligent. He picks up on Chalice's lies pretty quickly and follows the law more often than not.
Oh, so now it's my fault we're in prison.
Sure, he does get outclassed in the piano by Cuphead, but he shows promise and the ability to grow better if he puts his mind to it. However, while generally intelligent, his dull side does come out to play quite often, such as when he tries to kill Cuphead but ends up killing Ludwig instead, or when he nearly slaughters the ice cream man because of his hat and music. Mugman is intelligent, but he's not nearly as intelligent as the top 3. Speaking of, the bronze medal of intelligence belongs to the Great Ludwig. While he only appears in one episode, this shyster is strikingly intelligent, able to trick Cuphead and Mugman with his supposed skill. He seems to be a prodigy on the piano, however, it's implied that may not be true either. He doesn't realize a piano is about to fall on top of him until it's too late, and his prose shows that he's kind of pretentious, which can be a drawback.
Who was that brilliant boy?
He does recognize talent when he hears it, and is able to correctly replay a sonata he only heard Cuphead play once. Ludwig is a musical genius, but he's still outclassed by a rat and a chalice. Speaking of silver-tongued silverware, our silver medal of intelligence goes to Miss Chalice. Chalice was hard to place due to a few reasons. While she has more appearances in this season, we actively know less about her than we probably should. Chalice is a trickster, someone who knows how to charm people out of their money and possessions, and she's quite good at it, having done it for years before the show. However, she does get caught and an angry mob forms to catch her, which shows she's not perfect.
I was lying about the angry mob.
She does know how to utilize her ghost powers for tricks and gaffes, as well as being able to get the mob to run away. Chalice does make a few stupid mistakes that make her fall a little lower. Specifically, she's known for letting loose the quadruplet ghost, which is not fun for them. Now, it's likely we'll know more about her in the near future, but as it stands, she's just barely outclassed. Grabbing our gold medal of intelligence is none other than Werner Werman. Werner was difficult because, like the others on this list, he only appears once, but he makes a pretty solid impression. He's a rat who lives in the cottage, planning to overtake it and kick the cups and kettle out, using a variety of tools at his disposal. He is shown to be a mechanical genius, forming a tank and many weapons out of household objects like a soup can. He's able to make things others would only dream of, and if it wasn't for the fact he was so tiny, he would likely create massively powerful weapons.
Your cottage is mine.
However, his small stature is a problem, and it means he's not as powerful as he could be. Despite this, he's still able to trick Cuphead, Mugman, and the Elder Kettle like it was nothing, which shows just how smart he can be. He does have one major drawback, and that's the fact he doesn't seem to be nearly as smart as his game counterpart, who assumedly created the intensely realistic Katzenwagen, which the show version shows no inkling of knowledge of. Werner is vastly intelligent, hence why he is our premier gold medalist. But let us know in the comments section if you agree with our ranking, and tell us what we should cover next. Remember to hit that notification bell and binge our Dumb to Brilliant playlist, where we figure out which characters have the most wits. But most importantly, stay wicked.